May Flowers, Sweet Beginnings is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated in any way with Team Salvato. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Game files for Doki Doki Literature Club are required to play this mod and can be downloaded for free at the official website or on Steam. By playing May Flowers, Sweet Beginnings, you agree that you have completed Doki Doki Literature Club and accept any spoilers contained within. I agree. Display mode has been enabled automatically. Okay. Well. Options. Extras. Play name, nope. Okay. Well, full screen. So. Greetings, I am Amy and welcome to May Flowers Sweet Beginnings. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. By the time I'm uploading this, it's no longer May. But it is May by the time I'm recording this. It's the 3rd of May right now. Sunday right now. Might as well also check and make sure that everything is fine because I just recorded something yesterday. No, not yesterday. A few days ago, and it again happened that the screen was frozen while the audio was fine. Anyway, yeah. It's May by the time I'm recording this, you will just have to see it later. Because I'm following a plan I've set for myself. This is a Natsuki-centered mod. And I think it's about her opening her own bakery. And I think that's already kind of what we're seeing. As far as I'm concerned, this is a completed demo. No, not a completed demo, a completed mod. So I hope that's actually true because what I also recorded recently, it said it was a full game. Turns out it was a demo. Exit. Please come again. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Let's go with what I usually do for Natsuki mods, which is Ben. Can also switch it up at some point, but for now, let's go with this. Let's go. Want to have some nice Natsuki mods. I'm pretty sure Act 1 Preheat. I think it's a nicer mod. I don't think it's going to be anything too tragic. I hope. Natsuki, your breakfast is getting cold. I'll be right there. Natsuki's voice echoes from upstairs, and a few moments later I hear the rapid thuds of her approaching footsteps. Natsuki runs the corner and heads for the table, inspecting my handiwork. Hey, pancakes! Where's your breakfast? I already ate. Gotta go get Sayori, remember? Right. Natsuki pouts, her delight at the pancakes evaporating in moments. Hey, we can eat together tomorrow. No school or anything. We have the whole day together. Alright, you can make it up to me then. Are we already dating or something? Well, it seems like we definitely are kind of living together. Now get out of here before Sayori starts snooping around. Natsuki gets up and puts her arms around me before I leave. I return the hug, savoring the dizzying feeling I still get when she's near me. Okay, I think they're already a couple. After an all too brief moment, I let go. Alright, I'd better get going. See you at the club. See ya! It's been over 6 months since I joined the literature club, and my life is unrecognizable. 6 months, okay. Aside from the fact that I have a girlfriend who's living with me, I've got other meaningful relationships. Okay, so Natsuki's living with us, and she's already our— I almost said she's already our fiancé. I've already jumped ahead. My grades have improved, and I don't feel like I'm just wasting time until I graduate anymore. That's not to say it's all been easy, though. Not long after joining, I found that Sayori, my best friend for as long as I can remember, has had depression that whole time. Between trying to support her through that, my newfound relationship with Natsuki, and my schoolwork, I've had my hands full. I guess that's all part of growing up, though. We have a kitty! Our text box has a kitty. For some reason I didn't recognize it at first. I go outside and head straight for Sayori's. To my surprise, she opens the door and meets me before I even text her. Good morning, Ben! My budgies are also having a good time over there. Morning, Sayori. You're up early today. I set my alarm extra early. I don't want to keep you waiting every day, you know. I guess that makes sense. Does that mean you're ready to head out already? Uh-huh! I'm impressed by the progress there is made in such a short time. It wasn't so long ago that I had to practically drag her out of bed to get to school on time. Now, though, she's out the door even before I call her. So we walk down the street to school, Sayori turns to me. Hey, Ben. I've been meaning to ask you something. What's up? Why do we have to head to school so early now anyway? I mean, we've been getting to class almost half an hour early these days. Look at the ground, not wanting to lie to Sayori's face. It's my fault. I volunteered to help set up my classroom before school starts. I figured you'd rather get up a little earlier instead of walking to school alone. If you want to sleep in, you can, but I won't be able to wait for you. No, that's alright. It's actually getting easier to wake up early these days. That's good to hear. I'm proud of you, Sayori. I mean that. I am proud of her. Before she confessed to me, I had no idea how depression could affect somebody or how much effort it took to fight against it. But I can tell that Sayori has been working incredibly hard to make progress. As proud as I am, though, I also feel guilty for lying so openly to her. I haven't volunteered to do anything at school. I just need to make sure she doesn't see Natsuki coming out of my house in the mornings. Why? Natsuki doesn't want anyone to know she had to move in with me, and I can't say I blame her. So it's not like trying to hide the relationship. Well, maybe they know the relationship but don't know that they're living together. But also, with what else Sayori told me on the day before the festival, we should probably keep things secret for her sake as well. No, you shouldn't just keep things like that secret. Like, I know that's going to hurt, but like, I don't know how the timeline is, but it would also be basically 6 months since that incident. And while I get maybe not immediately being like, hey, so it's been like 2 days after you confessed to me, and here's my girlfriend Natsuki. But like after a few months, which is the case here, most likely, you should just be able to openly say it, like, that you're in a relationship with someone. Unless there's some, like, other reasons that aren't just related to, hey, I wanted to hide it from you because I think you're fragile as hell. And will never be able to recover from it. Because even if it's, like, maybe not immediately being like, hey, I turned you down, here's my girlfriend. This shouldn't be something that you just keep a secret from her the whole time for her sake, quote unquote. Aw, thanks. Hey, why don't we do something to celebrate? Since you're so proud of me and all. What did you have in mind? We could go see a movie tonight. I wince. I'm busy tonight. Got some important work to take care of. Oh, okay. Maybe some other time then. Sorry. Feel bad for disappointing Sayori. At least it wasn't a lie this time. I do have something important to do after school tonight. Maybe over the weekend? Okay. I'll stop by Saturday, alright? Sure thing. The day passes uneventfully. When it's time to eat, I pull out my meager lunch and eat it in a few bites. It's a cheap sandwich, but by the time lunch rolls around, I'm so hungry that it feels like a meal from a 5-star restaurant. I have like an 8-hour workday or 8.5-hour workday, and honestly, sometimes I just never get hungry throughout the entire day. It's a problem. Fortunately, it only dampens my appetite rather than fully saturating it. Sating it. I sigh and put it away. Oh well, I could stand to lose a few pounds anyway. No, not necessarily. At the club, I find I'm the last one to arrive. Sari seems to be working on some sort of some sort of project at the front of the class. There are scattered pages in front of her, spread over multiple tables. I moved my microphone up, it wasn't too loud. Yuri, as usual, is reading quietly in a corner. She gives me a shy smile as I walk in, and I wave briefly to her. Natsuki's pulling out a volume of her manga from the closet, and Monica seems to be filing some paperwork. Seeing me, Monica looks over and smiles. Hi, Ben! Any big plans for the weekend? No, not really. Soon I talked about seeing a movie, but aside from that, it'll probably be the usual. How about you? The Literature Club is in a bit of a lull. We held a pretty big event this week, but once again failed to attract any new members. The first time that happened, Monica seemed to take it pretty hard. Since then, though, she seems to have taken the stance that a small, dedicated club is better than a large club of members who aren't passionate. Of course, that hasn't stopped her from trying to stoke that passion in potential members. Actually, I was planning on taking the weekend to myself and just relaxing. Maybe curling up in my pajamas with a good book. I gasped in Makora. Monica taking a day off? I'm shocked! I know, pretty surprising. The truth is, I haven't actually gotten a chance to read any new books for a long time. Been so busy, there just hasn't been any time to really sink my teeth into anything too big. I'm reading an entire series right now of 5 books. That's not like that much actually. I've also read a series of 7 books not too long ago. But it probably feels a bit more arduous to me because it's not exactly my thing. But when I start something, I refuse to stop. But as president of the Literature Club, I'm obligated to take time every so often to read something new. Well, good for you. The way you've been going this past few months, I say you've earned a whole week off. Let's just start with the weekend and see how it goes. Oh, it looks like someone wants your attention. Monica gestures over to Natsuki, who's holding the next volume for Fey Girls and tapping her foot impatiently. Oh god, how many volumes does Perfect Girls have? Right. Take her, Monica. You too. Turning away from Monica, I head towards the closet. It's about time! I've been waiting for us to start this arc for months! I know. What arc are we getting into now? Sorry, I just wanted to say hi to Monica. Yeah. Just get on the floor! Okay. Even after the others found out we were dating... okay, so it is just a living. It is just a living. Good. Even after the others found out we were dating, Natsuki kept up her harsh demeanor in the club. It used to bother me a bit, but over time I've learned to accept it if it makes her more comfortable. Besides, we get enough time to ourselves now that she's moved in with me. Still, to keep up appearances, we've only been reading Parfait Girls in the club room, which has made Natsuki pretty impatient to get to what she deems the good part. Part we're apparently just on the brink of. Come on, open it! Open it! Why am I clapping? Well, method acting. Alright, calm down. I turn to the opening page and we begin reading. As usual, Natsuki sits close beside me, almost leaning on my shoulder. With no interruptions, we managed to finish the entire volume in a single sitting. It feels strange not to have any club activities, but I can't say I'm upset at having more time alone with Natsuki. And I really wouldn't want to stop this volume halfway through. When we finally finished the last page, I let out a breath and leaned back. So it was good? Wow. I was not expecting that. Right? Poor Minori. I actually feel bad now. Admit it! You're hooked! Natsuki, we've been reading this for 6 months now. I could have stopped any time if I wanted. Yeah, but now you're really hooked! Like, you probably want to start the next one right now, don't you? Dang it. Told you! Too bad for you, we're out of time! Wait, why are you so happy? Aren't you dying to read the next one too? Oh, I am! But I've got the satisfaction of watching you squirm while we wait! Oh, this isn't fair! Yeah, well, maybe the tables will turn when your manga finally gets interesting. I mean, Natsuki suddenly realized that she let slip that we were reading another manga in our spare time. It was a minor mistake. I don't think anyone even noticed, but she's been insisting on keeping our arrangement a secret. Well, the club's about over anyway. Isn't it time for you and Sayori to head out? Yeah, I guess it is. We all agreed to put a temporary hold on writing poems for a while. The whole club was starting to suffer the first stages of burnout, and Monica was insistent we stop before it became a chore. Since then, club meetings have been more informal, while Monica works on finding a new outlet for the club. Yet switch up a bit the activities. You can always just be writing poems all the time. Head over to the front of the club where Sayori still seems focused on her project. What is it? I move my hand in front of her face to get her attention. Hey! Earth to Sayori? Are you about ready to go? Is it that time already? Sayori glanced at the clock. Oh, I guess it is. Sorry, I was kind of busy. Well, there's no rush. I can wait a few minutes for you to finish up here. No, that's okay. I could use a break anyway. Sayori puts all her papers in a rough pile and shoves them into her backpack. Bye, everyone! As we walk back home, I turn to Sayori. So, what were you working on in the club today? It seemed like you were pretty focused on it. Sayori grins and shakes her head. I'm not allowed to say! Monica gave me a top secret mission! So it's something Monica wanted you to do, huh? I guess that means it's something official for the club. But that doesn't really narrow it down that very much. You'll find out on Monday! Well, I guess that's not so bad. I am kind of curious now, though. Sorry, but I promised Monica! Wave it away. Hey, no big deal. Monday's got a couple days. Monday's only a couple days away. The rest of the walk home with Sayori is basically the same as any other. We talk about our day, anything we're excited about, and complain about classes. Usually I try not to bring up my relationship with Natsuki, but sometimes Sayori pushes. I don't know why. Even I can see that it bothers her sometimes. I do wish it didn't hurt her to see Natsuki and me together. But she's never done anything to get between us, so I guess it's not my place to judge. She is entitled to her feelings in that regard. It's going to take a while to get over a crush that she may have harbored for like, who knows how long. Natsuki comes in just as I'm finishing the day's homework. Man, does that sun feel good? Yes, the sun has been, today it's actually, the past few days, there's been a lot of sun. And man, I loved it. I love the sun. I love sitting in the sun and reading. I was getting sick of freezing on the walk to school every morning. Well, I haven't been freezing exactly, but I am a person, it takes a long time for me to really feel warm, and it's easy for me to feel cold. So, I really prefer the warm seasons. And even then I prefer summer because really, the allergies of spring are ruining spring for me. I can't adjust to it. Yeah, it kind of sucks in the winter. Sorry you had to go through that. Natsuki shrugs. Meh, I lived. So, what's the plan for tonight? Take out at a movie? Or maybe you want to show me why your manga is totally as good as Parfait Girls? I grimace, preparing for the worst. Actually... Natsuki frowns at me, knowing what I mean before I even finish. Seriously? Again? That's like the third night this week. I miss you. I know. And I really am sorry. But I've got to take care of this. Besides, we've got our weekend, right? I promise you'll be around. By Monday, you'll be sick of me. I mean, on Saturday, we might be going on a movie with Sayori. But aside from that, it should be fine. Like, it's one evening. On the other hand, if this is like Friday evening, like, that's like both evenings that are like evenings where you can spend a lot of time doing things. Natsuki chuckles. I wouldn't count on it. You've tried your best so far, and I'm still here. Ouch. Does this mean you'll be okay if I head out? Yeah, I guess. Just come back safe, alright? I will. See you tomorrow. I step outside with an inward groan. All things considered, I'd definitely rather spend the evening cuddled up with my girlfriend, but I don't have that luxury tonight. Interesting, what are we doing? I walk down the sidewalk, eyes alert. It's clean so far, but I know if I keep walking, I'll find what I'm looking for. Sure enough, my eyes catch a glint as I reach the corner. Aha! I lean down and snatch the plastic bottle, tucking it into my backpack. One down, 199 to go. Recycling bottles isn't the most lucrative work, but it's about all I'm qualified for. So it's like, kind of like... 200 is what I consider to be my quota for an evening. 200 bottles is enough to get a decent meal, if you're careful. Unfortunately, finding that many bottles usually takes a long time. Some nights I have to head in before I even get halfway there. But tonight seems to be going well, so 4 up to 5 bottles in as many minutes. I remember we kind of did something like that before we had like our kind of like prom at school. We were like collecting bottles like to gather money. Because we had like pay kind of get out the money for it ourselves. So that we can set up as many things as possible. A few hours later I drop off my haul to be collected. I didn't reach my quota tonight, not even close. They're shoving the bottles into the receptacle. I grab my meager sum of coins and count them out. I could make more money working in a sweatshop. Still, it's not too late. Can make one more round, then I might have enough to last the rest of the month. There's a park nearby that's pretty popular. In the winter, nobody would have visited it, but maybe with the recent weather, I'll get lucky. Scrounging for recyclables isn't what I had in mind for my first job, but I don't have much of a choice. When I learned that what Natsuki's home life was like, I had to let her move in. Unfortunately, my mom's monthly stipend, I know what it is, I don't know how to say it. Stipend? It's only budgeted for one person. Doubling all the expenses, more in some cases, stretches things pretty thin. If I had to skip meals pretty often, I cut down on the meals I actually ate. Sure, I could explain everything to Mom and hope she sends a bit of more money, but there's also the risk that she'd kick Natsuki out, and that can't happen. Oh well, keeping Natsuki fed and safe is more than worth the effort. I do hate keeping this a secret from her, though. So I walk down the path, I see something that makes my heart race. It looks like someone had a particularly good time here earlier. There must be a dozen or so beer bottles scattered on the ground. Glass sells for twice as much as plastic. This is the jackpot. Thank goodness for a litter box. As I collect the bottles, I mentally tallied the total value. There should be enough to get me over my Ben? Yeah! I quickly spin around. Okay, was Ben? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you. You stands a few feet away from me, clearly embarrassed. No, it's fine. I was just kind of distracted. Sorry. You have nothing to apologize for. I certainly can't blame others for getting lost in thought. Take a breath, waiting for my heart to stop racing. Right. What are you doing out here anyway? Isn't it kind of late to be out for a walk? You chuckle softly. I could ask you the same. But to answer your question, I prefer to take walks after dark. Things are more peaceful. I also find that I more easily find inspiration from my poems at night. That makes sense. You would definitely appreciate the solitude. And your poems certainly feel like the sort of thing you'd write at night. Is that what you were doing then? Writing a new poem? Yuri shakes her head. No, tonight I'm just enjoying the air. It's been too long since the weather's been mild enough for a late night stroll. But what are you doing out here? You don't strike me as the type to spend their Fridays picking up a litter. Crap! She saw what I was doing. Think, Ben, think! Is everything alright? You looks at me with a concerned expression. Huh? Of course it is! Why wouldn't it be? Yuri gives me a sad smile. Ben, you're sweet, but you're a terrible liar. You're collecting bottles for money, aren't you? I know you and Natsuki have moved in together, you know? What? But... Splutter helplessly. How did you know? Suppose there's no use denying it at this point. Yuri looks at me for a moment without speaking. After a few seconds, she nods to herself as if she's decided something. Come with me. I'll explain when we get there. Get where? I have to drop these off and get home. Please? Just trust me. You begins heading down the path out of the park. Confused and not sure what choice I really have, I hesitantly follow. You eventually heads to a late-night cafe. She walks straight up to the counter and dresses the hostess. Good evening, Anna. I'll have the usual, please. And my friend will have... Yuri looks at me expectantly. Look, I really can't afford to be eating out. I know that. That's why you're not paying. Hang on, I can't let you buy me dinner! Yuri sighs. Ben, when was the last time you had a hot meal? Turn away, not wanting to answer. It's not healthy. What you doing? I'm not doing it to be healthy. I'm doing it for Natsuki. Then do this for her too. She wouldn't want you starving yourself out of stubborn pride. I mean... Yuri looks down, embarrassed by her words. Pride. Can't deny it. Yuri's right about why I don't want to accept her offer. You know she clearly regrets speaking so bluntly. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. You're a good friend. You're not upset? Shake my head and laugh quietly. Yuri, we've talked about this. Really, nothing you say is as bad as you think it is. Besides, you're right. I was just being stubborn. And I am pretty hungry. That's really... Not the fact that you're hungry, it's alright. I know what you mean. Come on, let's get a seat. I finish ordering and you and I find a table. Thank you for letting me do this. You know, this is one of my favorite diners in the city. Although that's mostly because it's quiet and open light. I try a bite of my dinner and find it better than I expected. You shouldn't discount the quality of the food either. This is pretty good. I'm glad to hear you say that. You know, some weeks I'll come here every night. Well, that explains why you're on a first-name basis with the staff. Yuri nods. And given the fact that knife collections and everything... like, if you really want, like, fancy knives, they can cost quite a lot. And, like, hardcovers, as she seems to have in most of the official art and everything, they also cost, like, quite a bit. So she has, like, big series and books, like, long series, many books, and also, like, a knife collection and everything. I'm pretty sure she has, like, she's, like, pretty well off. Of course, she could just be saving a lot, but that would also mean that she is, like, skipping meals, and I kind of don't believe that. She might just be in a household that can, like, afford all of those things. Yuri nods. It's still very friendly. Suppose that's another reason why I'll keep returning. It's a really nice place. Honestly, I'm glad you showed it to me. Maybe I'll come here with Natsuki sometime. I think that's a wonderful idea. But speaking of Natsuki, fell up my end of the bargain. Now, how did you know we are living together? We are living together. Yuri tries to finger around the rim of her glass, pondering before she speaks. Well, first you need to understand that I've known Natsuki for far longer than you have. I don't say that to diminish your relationship. It's merely a statement of fact. In fact, before you started coming to the club, we often spent time together socially. Raise an eyebrow in surprise. Really? When I first showed up, I thought you guys hated each other. I can certainly see why you would reach that conclusion. And in truth, we struggled to get along when we first met. She was rather brash and somewhat rude, and I was admittedly quite judgmental towards her. It's another mix-up where it's like main game and side story universe combined, I'm guessing. But we eventually developed a deep friendship. It's not to say we always got along. But what you saw the first time we shared poems, it was an abnormality. Yuri's posture shifts and she smiles gently. Anyway, we started going out shopping or getting ice cream in the summer. The thing is, like, the whole entire fight was able to happen because they never got over that hurdle of feeling kind of like having kind of these assumptions about one another and having this kind of judgment towards each other. Like, by the final side story, I don't understand how people cannot understand that they have to be somewhat different universes where different things happened. Because, like, the relationships are pretty different. I kind of noticed it with Yuri and Sayori already, because they're not close at all in the main game. Like, they're not, like, having, like, struggles, like, with, like, how you Natsuki and Yuri have struggles, but they still weren't close at all. They absolutely had no idea of their boundaries, and they had no understanding. And Yuri had not learned to reflect on anything as well, but that's later on. And then by respect, it was pretty obvious, because like Monika's and Natsuki's relationship is so different in the main game compared to the side stories. And so like by self-love, I don't understand how people can see that it's like something had to be different on some type of level, because Natsuki's and Yuri's relationship would have been very different in the main game had they had that moment like they had in self-love. Because they were already really, like, understood like the problem if you were being kind of judgmental and having like a bit of an attitude that Natsuki couldn't, like attitude in quotations, that her behavior that would have kind of felt like she was looking down on Natsuki. They had already established those things, and in the main game it's like it's completely there, healthy, and they kind of need to start from scratch, which is why they're a big step in their friendship in Act 1 would have been that they wrote the same beach, the same topic. But I also kind of see the appeal of kind of wanting to mix them together in some universe, because like DMC had to join at some point in like these mods where it's like the side story universe and DMC combined, and if it's like in the past, and I can see why you would kind of try to mix it together. It's just that some of these things would like clash very heavily, and so that kind of makes it harder for me to kind of see how, like, for me, I am someone, I kind of like to have like some type of timeline and everything and how things went down. And due to main game and side stories being like so different in the relationships between the girls, it's kind of difficult for me to imagine how it would have happened here. That's not exactly criticism on the mod, it's just a personal thing for me that I'm currently talking about. Because for me it's kind of like, how would that go down? Why did it go down in this case? And the thing is, since it's not that important to the story most likely, we're probably not going to talk too much about it, and so I'll never know. Anyway, we started going out shopping or getting ice cream in the summer. Eventually got to the point where she'd come to my house regularly. Of course, for reasons I wasn't aware of at the time, I was never invited to her house. But I didn't think much of it back then. If anything, I was grateful that I didn't have to enter a stranger's home. Suppose I was somewhat naive at the time. I nod, understanding how she feels. Not only did it take me way too long to clue into Natsuki's problems, but Sayori's as well. Understand all too well how seemingly insignificant clues like that can fly under the radar. I wonder what Natsuki's home life is supposed to be like in this mod. Like a controlling and so home life, like it seems to be very much in Act 1. Not controlling enough to like keep her from having a phone or something, but like definitely controlling and neglective in some aspects. Could lead someone to not feel welcome in their own home and for wanting to live somewhere else. That definitely. But it kind of feels like they're kind of going more in the direction of an Act 2 household. Yuri clears her throat and continues. Anyway, when I learned of the situation, I didn't know what to do, but I knew how to do something. Not a sentiment, I understand. I remember the day I found Natsuki hiding in an empty corner of the school during lunch. She was emptying ketchup packets from the cafeteria into a cup of water to make tomato soup. When I asked her about it, she finally told me how dire things were in her home. How she usually had to go hungry at the end of the month because her father had blown the last of their money on booze. For this, for example, is also different in Act 1. Like, she isn't starving. She at least not the way she's in Act 2. She doesn't collapse into us. Like, she's so starved in Act 2, she collapses during her first event. Which doesn't happen in Act 1 because it's not that dire in the situation. And she also has, like, money. Like, manga isn't that expensive in Japan, but we have no idea. It's a country of its own in DDLC. But even if we go, like, it's not that expensive, like, it isn't that expensive in Japan either. At least not extremely expensive. Even then, like, having, like, big-ass series would cost a lot of money. And Natsuki was able to get a manga upon release in the side stories. So she does have some level of savings and everything, and some level of allowance that she was able to buy iced tea with. So they definitely aren't in like a wealthy position where she's like, she doesn't have like money for like a series with 30 volumes or something to immediately just buy all of that. But it's not like they're like she is like completely devoid of money in the side stories or Act 1. How baking wasn't just something she picked up for fun, but was also a survival strategy since flour was cheap and lasted a long time. How she wasn't actually that much younger than the rest of the club, she just had her growth stunted from years of malnutrition. And worst of all, what would actually happen if her father found manga in her room? Yeah, so I think we're kind of going more in Act 2 situation. I don't think that's bad. I'm not going to reduce any point for that exactly either. Okay. Similar to like putting side story main game timeline together, it's just something to create a unique story of its own. Are you okay? Turn my attention back to Yuri. Yeah, sorry. I just know how you feel. I suppose you do. I'm sorry to bring up such a delicate subject. It's fine. You were saying? Right. Well, the point is that I began to schedule our time together so that she'd be at my house for dinner. Even if I couldn't do very much, I want to make sure she at least got one full meal in a day. Of course, looking back, I think she knew exactly what I was doing, even if she never let on. Anyway, after the two of you started seeing each other, Natsuki came over less often. Till a few months ago, when she abruptly stopped visiting at all. And around the same time, her ramble at school in the mornings became erratic. Before she had to take the bus to school, so she would always arrive with a group of other students. But now she might arrive 10 minutes after the bus, or 15 minutes before. That only makes sense if she started walking to school, which she couldn't do from her own home. Therefore she moved somewhere close to school, and somewhere with a more reliable source of food. Natsuki doesn't trust many people enough to live under the roof. And if it were anyone else, she wouldn't keep the move a secret. In the end, the only explanation is that she moved in with you. Wow, I can't help but laugh. I'm impressed, Yuri. That was some seriously great deduction. You're a really observant person, you know that? It's kind of you to say. Unfortunately, I can be incredibly oblivious at times, such as my failure to consider the burden Natsuki's presence must be putting on you. I bristle instinctively at Yuri's words. Natsuki isn't a burden. I know that! I only meant... I sighed, disappointed in myself. I know what you meant. I'm sorry. I should have gotten upset so easily. I guess I'm just kind of on edge recently. Right. Well, that's just what I wanted to talk to you about. You can't keep pushing yourself like this. You need to sleep. You need to eat. Sorry. And I need money to be able to buy food for us. Yes, you do. He reaches into her purse and pulls out a wad of bills. This should cover the extra expenses for a while. I hesitate, not sure what to do. It's one thing to let Yuri buy a single dinner, but this is a lot of money. I think they might have picked up also on the idea that Yuri might be able to buy a lot of, buy entire knife collection with fancy ass knives and a lot of hardcover books, because she might be in a good position. But anyways. Of course, being a lot of money can feed the two of us for a long time. Yu's parents are literally a doctor and a lawyer. It's not like she can't afford it. Okay, yeah, in this universe we have already established money. I imagine Natsuki's face when I found her having watered down ketchup for lunch. In the end, I don't really have a choice. I take the money. Yuri looks relieved. Thank you. I should be the one thanking you. I promise I'll make good use of this. I'm sure you will. You're a good person, Ben. Natsuki's lucky to have you. I feel my face redden from the compliment. Speaking of which, I really should be getting back home. Should be getting word by now. Yuri nods, smiling softly. That's probably true. Good night. Have a safe walk home. I'll see you on Monday. I wave goodbye to Yuri, grab my backpack, and head home. As As soon as the door closes behind me, a figure on the couch begins to stir. Ben? Yeah, it's me. Sorry I'm so late. Natsuki stifles a yawn, then starts again. Where were you? I ran to Yuri and we started talking. Head to the couch and sit next to Natsuki. Man, you're into late night walks. What did you end up talking about? About you, actually. Turns out she already knew we moved in together. What? Yeah, when you stopped going to her house and started walking to school, she figured it out. That figures. She's always so smart at the worst times, then completely oblivious when you want her to figure something out. I chuckle softly. You know, she said something really similar about herself. Anyway, I think she kind of misses spending time with you. You two should hang out soon. I guess it's been a while since we visited. Maybe I should. Natsuki yawns again. It's pretty late. We should probably go to bed. Wait! I missed you. Can't we just spend a little more time together? I can't help but smile. As much as I want to head to bed right now, I miss Natsuki too. Alright. Just a few minutes though. I guess that'll do. I slide closer to Natsuki, wordlessly holding her hands in mine. She leans against me with a contented sigh. I lean back into the couch, feeling the stress of the day drain away. Ugh. Why does my neck hurt so much? And why is my shirt wet? I reluctantly open my eyes. Natsuki lies on top of me, snoring softly in a small puddle of drool. I always find it interesting how people talk about their neck hurting when they sleep on the couch. I suppose maybe an unmade couch, I guess. It's just my bed broke. Like my bed was broken when I moved away. So I decided I was just going to sleep on the couch for a while, and I was like, why should I ever get a bed again? I can sleep on the couch. It feels nice. So I sleep on the couch. But I guess maybe an unmade couch, I kind of prepare my couch to kind of be similar to a bed. If you're kind of maybe just sleeping on the armrest, on these, then maybe that could hurt your neck. I don't know. That accounts for my shirt. From the angle my neck was at, I'm not surprised it hurts. Yeah, if it's a weird angle, then I guess. I quietly watched Natsuki for a few moments. Man, she's cute. I don't know how I wound up with a girl like her, but I must have done something right. I could stay here all day. If I didn't desperately need to use the washroom. Try my best not to disturb Natsuki, I begin to slide out from under her. Natsuki's eyes half open. Natsuki's eyes half open, and she sluggishly wipes the drool away from her mouth. Then she slowly lifts her gaze to my face and freezes. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, no! No! This could be happening! Sorry, it is. I drooled on you! Ah! Don't look at me! Why not? After all, Natsuki glares at me. Don't say it. You're so cute! You said it! Natsuki leans forward and punches my arm in a quick flurry of blows. Ah! Frustrated, she runs upstairs, and I clear the door to her bedroom to slam. And I hear the door to her bedroom slam. Why it wasn't clear? Feeling extremely satisfied with myself, I head up to my room. In an uncharacteristic display of mercy, I decide to take my time getting ready today. Natsuki could use extra time to recover from her ordeal. I take a steaming hot shower until the hot water runs out, then get dressed at a leisurely pace. When I finally come downstairs, I find Natsuki waiting for me. Finally! Come on, I'm getting hungry! You are allowed to eat without me, you know. You promised you would eat together. You promised yesterday we'd spend the weekend together. You promised twice, in fact. And I'm gonna hold you to that. Now, what's for breakfast? I decide not to bring up the fact that I never promised to make her breakfast. How's French toast sound? Your French toast? No thanks. For doing French toast, we're doing it properly. It's just bread dipped in batter and fried. How can you even do that improperly? Natsuki shakes her head. See, that's just what I'm talking about. You wouldn't call cupcakes cooked batter covered in sugar, would you? I might have, before I met you. Well, it's a good thing I'm here to educate you. Just like with cupcakes, that's only the most basic, boring version of French toast. The really fun part is dressing it up with your favorite flavors. So, what were you thinking? Come on, be creative! Chocolate chip? Not exactly the most creative flavor you could have picked. Hey, I'm still learning. Besides, it's a classic. Well, it doesn't really matter anyway. We don't have any way of getting chocolate chips into the bread. Oh yeah. I guess I didn't really think it through. Last opens the fridge and peers in. Let's see. We've got strawberries. Let's do that. Sounds good to me. Where do we start? Half an hour later, Natsuki and I sit down to a fresh plate of strawberry French toast. She's even made a strawberry syrup to go on top of it and sprinkled at the top with powdered sugar. Alright, I admit it. This is way better than what I was going to make. See? Put in a little extra effort and food always tastes better. Maybe if you're a genius at baking. For Sayori, more time in the kitchen just means more risk of burning her house to the ground. So maybe if you're a genius at baking, I was kind of like, you're a genius at baking, that's why. But in Sayori's case, I admit I do have a rare gift. But seriously, I think people just don't put in the work it takes to get good. I just don't enjoy it. And frankly, I already don't really have, I don't enjoy eating much. So, why should I put extra effort doing something I don't like for something I won't care too much about? As long as it's edible. For me, I have a bit of a problem with being, I don't know what it is. I am a bit of a picky eater, I suppose. There's generally just stuff where my stomach immediately, I have thrown up for no reason other than it tasted weird. I have no idea how that went wrong. It's usually when it's specific mixtures. There are a lot of foods that I don't mix because mixed I don't like them. But as long as I can eat it, I'm just gonna eat it. I don't care how well it tastes. It just needs to be able to to work. I've honestly never eaten something and thought, oh my god, this is so good. The only time I've done it was with friends, and I'm honestly not sure if it was the mere act of it just being good, or if it was more related to it being made by my friends, because there were also instances I'm not the only friend of my friends. I'm also friends with another friend of my friends. Let's just, I don't think I need to give him a nickname for this short section. And he also likes the food made by them more, but then also goes to when we eat at a good restaurant, then it's also oh my god, this tastes so good, and it's it tastes like everything else to me. I don't know. Basically, there is no point in taking me out to a fancy restaurant. I usually don't care too much for the atmosphere. If they have candles, I hate candles. And the food isn't any different for me than any food I could buy, just on my way home, randomly take out. My first batch of cupcakes was a total disaster. I guess that's true. But at the same time, I've never met anyone who can bake like you. There's definitely some real talent at work here. I gestured to the now half-eaten French toast. Yeah, maybe. Even now, I'm occasionally surprised by Natsuki's lack of confidence. She acts border than arrogant in public, so it's sometimes hard to remember how incredibly insecure she can be. Seriously, you're incredible. Thanks, Ben. I really need to hear that sometimes. The rest of the meal is eaten in silence. I occasionally catch glimpses of Natsuki looking my way carefully. It's the same way she looked at me when I ate her first cupcake. In the end, there isn't a bite left on either of our plates. As I clean the dishes, Natsuki pulls out a box and opens it. Inside is the manga I'm making her read. She finds the volume we're at and places it on the couch, waiting for me. Be there in a minute! No rush. Just getting ready. When I'm finished, I join Natsuki on the couch. Oh yeah, remember this one? Yeah? No spoilers, but I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Then let's get started already! Halfway through the book, Natsuki scoffs. Yeah, this is such a guy manga. I raise an eyebrow. If you really want to stop, we can. Well, it's not that bad. After all, some of the characters are pretty cool. Like Kaede. I like her. Oh, you like Kaede? Interesting. Natsuki's brow furrows. Why, what's so special about Kaede? I never said she was special. What, does she die or something? If she dies, I'll never forgive you. Come on, I'd never spoil a major plot point like that. Whatever. I know you're just messing with me. You are just messing with me, right? I shrug indifferently. You're serious? She dies, doesn't she? I maintain my best poker face despite Natsuki's best efforts. Finally, she hits me over the head with the open manga in frustration. Ugh, you're evil! Natsuki pulls out the next issue and sets it on the couch. Now look what you made me do! I'm a monster. Of course, Kaede doesn't die. But there's no I'm letting Natsuki know that. If I have to suffer waiting for the next issue of Buffet Girls, then I at least get to have my own fun in the meantime. He really wants to read that one. A few hours later, there's a knock at the door. I've got it! Natsuki opens the door to a familiar figure. Hey, Natsuki! Hey, Sayori, looking for Ben? I hurriedly get up and go to the door. Even after all this time, I haven't told Natsuki about Sayori's confession to me. Because that's something... Oh, the romantic confession. I don't want Natsuki to accidentally say something to hurt Sayori. Oh, hi, Ben. I was just gonna ask about the movies. But it looks like you're already busy, so... Nah, you guys can go see something. I could use a little quiet time anyway. Are you sure? Of course. Just have him home before midnight. I will. So, I take it the movie starts soon? Pretty soon. We're not in a huge rush or anything. Well, that's a first for you. Alright, let me just run upstairs. I've got a gift card I need to use. I grab the card from my dresser and run back downstairs. Just one line in that room. Bye, Nat! See you later! You're just gonna leave her here until you get back? Natsuki fumbles for a moment, clearly caught off guard. Well, the thing is... Natsuki's house is being fumiged! Wait, did you say that like that? Fumigated. Fumiged. Fumigated. Fumigated. How do you say it? I hate words that I know but can't fucking say. There are so many words that I read because I read a lot. Yes? And so I know like words, but I've never heard anyone say them before. Ah! Fumigated, fumigated. Wait a second. Ah! I want to see. I am interested now, so I will just. Quickly. Fumigated. Yes. I hate it. I hate it. She can't go home until tonight, so she's hanging out here. Oh, that makes sense. Anyway, we should probably get going if we're gonna catch the movie. I wonder if Sayori isn't dumb. Chances are she might have caught on, just how Yuri did. Bye. I hurriedly push Sayori out the door. Card in hand, I head to the theater with Sayori. So, are you looking forward to the movie? Are you kidding? I've been waiting for this since we were kids! Why do I keep clapping today? I'm in a very clappy mood. I wanted to say something. Oh! I'm going to the movie theater soon. By the time this is uploaded, it has already aired, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. We're literally going like if I meant to go according to the plan, then yeah. I've been there by now, by the time you're seeing this. When we were little, Sayuri and I both fell in love with a series of children's novels we discovered at the library. It just so happens that they announced a movie adaptation over the summer. But it means that he also kind of had a bit of an interest in literature, maybe. Like, outside of manga.
What about you?
Yeah, I am. I just hope they didn't butcher it. You know how movie adaptations can be.
Oh, don't be so negative. Come on, this is gonna be fun.
Okay, you're right. I would have killed to see this movie when we were younger after all. Let's get some popcorn and head right inside so we can grab some good seats, okay?
Yes!
It's so different. After grabbing our snacks, and I settled into a couple of seats near the back of the theater. I feel a bit conspicuous since the two of us are pretty much the only people our age here. Everyone else is either a kid or looking after one. Yeah, but I don't think it's abnormal that, like, teenagers are, like, going into movies that kind of mean something, like, from their childhood or something. Or, like, even if it were, like, completely just children's movies, like, I still love Little Prince from my childhood. And since this is... The thing is, it's kind of more also nostalgia-based. But I also know that I'm certain if I found something that's made for kids, and it's still well written, I would still watch it. Like, even if it's made for kids, if it's good, it will also have some people that are a bit older that are interested in it. Because well-written stories are just well-written. Of course, there's some things that are just, like, very youngish, but there is still a lot of movies, books, series made for children that are also well-written and complex enough to, like, draw a bit of an audience over the intended audience. Sarah doesn't seem to mind, though. To be honest, I'm not even sure she notices. I sink a bit lower into my seat and hope nobody recognizes me. It's not that I'm likely to see anyone I know here. Psst, pass the popcorn! This voice cuts through the darkness. Sayori, the trailers haven't even started yet. I like it when the popcorn's still hot. Just from a pouting tone, I can practically see Sayori's expression. Alright, but remember, this has to last the whole movie. That's why I always buy large. Half the time you eat the whole bag by the time the trailers finish. That only happens once or twice. I make fun, but I made sure to get an extra large popcorn for this exact reason. Yes. Just as I pass the bag to Sayori, the screen lights up. Sayori hurriedly grabs a handful of popcorn and settles back into her seat to watch the trailers. The movie's pretty good, honestly. They definitely took some artistic license, but it still captures the feel of the books, even if the details are a bit different. Seems like Sayori's enjoying it too. Watching anything with Sayori is something of an acquired taste, since she doesn't often sit quietly through the whole thing. That's also one reason why I usually don't go to, like, the cinema, or to the theaters and everything. I talk. I'm watching a series, and I talk. I'm reading, and I talk to myself. And then, like, sometimes when I'm, like, sitting in cinema, I notice I'm about to talk. I force myself to be quiet because I don't want to disturb anyone else's experience. But I'm just a really big talker. When their favorite character from the books shows up, she excitedly begins slapping my knee to get my attention. It's the sort of thing that I might have said was annoying in the past, but would have missed if Sayori stopped doing it. Now, of course, I'm just glad she's happy about something, even if that something is just a character in the movie. You would love, like, your favorite manga character on a big screen made into an anime. Surely. So, what did you think?
It was great! The ending especially. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
The ending? It ended the exact same way as the book. You knew what was going to happen.
Well, yeah, but it's a good ending.
I agree. There are some books that I've read multiple times, and the ending still gets me.
I'm always so nervous about whether things are really gonna turn out okay in the end, you know?
Only Sayori would be worried about a kids movie having a sad ending. No, I've seen bad not bad kid movies, but like kid movies with bad endings. Not bad endings, just like more sad. Yeah, you never were one for sad endings.
Hey, that's not true. Sometimes I like sad endings.
Come on, Sayori. You're always upset if a story doesn't end in happily ever after.
Well, yeah, you always hope it has a happy ending. But still, sometimes the best stories are sad at the end. It's like we talked about what we talked about earlier, remember? Bittersweet!
Oh, yeah. Still don't get it though. Doesn't it make you sad if something awful happens to characters you're so invested in?
Yep!
Then why do you like it? Isn't being sad, you know, a bad thing?
I don't know! It's not like everything has to be sad at the end. Not even most things. But every once in a while, it just feels right. I don't know. Maybe it's just that I feel connected to the story. Like we match.
So, you don't want stories to have a sad ending, but sometimes you like it when they do? It doesn't make any more sense when I say it. I don't care if the ending is happy or sad, just if it fits with the story and the message they're going for.
Now you get it!
I chuckle softly. Not even a little bit. You're a weirdo, Sayori. Always have been. Like, I've invested, like... Well, it's the same reason as to why I love still playing DDLC, even though a lot of the things have, like... can evoke, like, kind of slightly bad memories. It's like dealing with these emotions in a way that's not actively affecting someone, like... I lost someone the same way that Sayori dies, right? So when Sayori dies, it's very painful for me. But it helps me, like, go through these feelings in a healthy way, because it's not so bad, because I know Sayori is fictional, and since Sayori is fictional, nobody actually got hurt. So it's kind of a way of helping me deal with these emotions. But you're my weirdo. I playfully rustle Sayori's hair. Always have been.
Well, I guess I can live with that.
I'm still not sure how I should be treating Sayori now that I know how she feels about me. Especially if I'm dating Natsuki. It doesn't feel right to carry on the same way, knowing about her depression. But am I really doing her a favor if I'm too nice? Would Natsuki be jealous? It's not like I mean anything by it. Maybe I should just stop overthinking things. I told Sayori I wasn't interested. She's not the type of person to steal her friend's boyfriend.
You okay?
Sorry, lost in thought. Ready to go home?
Yep.
It just shouldn't feel like you're pitying Sayori. And it definitely shouldn't be like actual flirting. But like playful flirting. I have couples in my friend groups and they still playfully flirt around. I walk Sayori home. I walk Sayori home, then head straight to my place. Hey Ned, I'm home! Natsuki comes down the hall, fixing me with an icy gaze. Natsuki? What's wrong? It's dark. Have you been crying? Natsuki doesn't answer for a moment. Then she looks me dead in the eyes and holds something up. What's this? A pew close and my heart stops. It's a beer bottle from last night. I never turned them in. Hang on, it's not what it looks like. Is this what you've been doing every night? Sneaking out to get drunk behind my back? No, of course not. Then what is it? Take a moment to collect my thoughts. It's obvious that if I don't come clean now, things won't go well for us. If I'm not careful, telling the truth could backfire too. Look, I love having you here. I don't regret inviting you to move in for a second, but things are difficult. So what? Things get tough when you start drinking to cope? Gee, where have I heard that before? Do you have any idea how that sounds to me? Natsuki, the bottles aren't mine. I mean, they are now, but I didn't drink from them. Look, the money my mom gives me isn't enough for the two of us to live off of. I thought it would be if I just cut back on a few things, but I was wrong. The reason I've been going out every night is so I could collect bottles to turn in for a refund. I'm sorry I lied to you, but I haven't been drinking. Are you telling the truth? I won't believe you. Please, don't lie to me. If I mean anything at all to you, don't lie to me. Not about this. I promise that's the truth. You can even ask Yuri. She saw me last night. I'm just trying to make ends meet. Natsuki visibly relaxes and lets out a soft chuckle. Then she wipes her eyes and turns to me. You really scared me, you know? Are things really that bad? We have enough for the next month, if we're careful. And after that? After that, I'll figure something out. I won't let you go hungry again, I promise. It's not your responsibility, Ben. Of course it is. You're my girlfriend, and you're living in my house. If I don't take care of you now, how am I any better than him? Natsuki freezes, clenching her fists. Are you really that stupid? Natsuki's voice holds a venom I've never heard before. You're better because you actually bothered to try. You're better because I can actually be myself around you. I don't have to hide who I am or what I like. You don't scream at me for who I spend time with or what I read. Natsuki starts to quiver and her breathing becomes unsteady. You're better because since moving in with you, I don't flinch when I hear a door slam anymore. I don't have a panic attack if I drop a glass. I don't live in fear of what's going to happen when you wake up or when you get home. You're better because you make me feel like you actually want me around. Like I'm a real person. Who matters? Who's loved? I don't care about the other stuff. I don't care if I don't have 3 full meals every day. I just want to feel safe. And like I actually matter to someone. So don't you ever compare yourself to him again. Because you have nothing in common. Slowly I approach Natsuki. Having learned from experience, I keep my arms lowered as I walked forward. She leans forward and puts her arms around me. It feels less like a hug and more like a drowning person desperately clutching a life raft. Put my arms around her gently, trying to give her the time to recover. Come on, breathe with me. In and out. And in and out. I don't know how many times we repeat this before she recovers. Eventually, though, her breathing steadies once again. I'm sorry. It's fine. But you're right. We do need money. And you're not going to like it. But I think I have an idea. It's actually something I've been thinking about for a while now. Why won't I like it? Because it's not something I can do while I'm in school. I'd have to drop out. No. Absolutely not. Will you just hear me out? There's this grant for small businesses. The government literally gives you money, no strings attached, as long as you use it to start a business. It can be anything. A factory, a photography studio, a bakery. Natsuki mutters that last bit so quietly I almost don't hear it. A bakery? You want to open your own bakery? I told you wouldn't like it. That's what I knew. She wants to start a bakery. But I'm 18 now, so I can apply for the grant. It's just, I've been doing some research, and it'll take a while to get everything set up. Even if I got started today, I wouldn't be able to actually open for a long time. So we should do it now. We'll still have some money to hold us over. Suddenly feeling dizzy, I go to the couch and sit down. Natsuki's right, I don't like it. Not the part where she owns a bakery. I actually think that's a great idea. But dropping out? This close to graduation? Desperately, I rack my brain for alternatives. But there aren't any. I've tried finding part-time work, but it just isn't available. So, it's either collect bottles or... Alright, like, you agree? This won't be easy. You know that, right? Yeah, I know. It means getting up super early every day. And just picking flowers before we even open. Then I'd have to operate the actual store. At least until we have enough profit to hire someone to help out with that. Natsuki sits down next to me on the couch. Ben, I can do this, right? The stuff I make, people want to buy it? I can't help but laugh. Natsuki, that's the one thing I'm not worried about. You're the best baker I've ever met, no question. Natsuki takes a breath, then looks me in the eyes. And you'll support me. I can't do this alone. I promise. Whatever you decide, I'm with you 100%. Good. Then,
I'll book a meeting for Monday. If they accept me, I'll tell the club that day, and then I'll drop out. I can't believe how quickly this is all happening. If Natsuki gets this grant, that means Monday will be our last club meeting together. Should we, I don't know, bake some cupcakes for something for the occasion? It sounds absurd. Such a huge change. And we celebrate with cupcakes? Yeah, well, I guess we should. We can work on them tomorrow. Natsuki sit there in silence for a long time. It feels like there is more to say, more to discuss, but there's nothing. We've made our plan. I wonder if this is because the title, May Flowers, New Beginnings, sweet beginnings, is because they're also talking about it getting warmer. I wonder if she's like opening in May. I mean, honestly, I feel like Yuri would also support the bakery. Monica would be devastated about that, given the club and everything, but I'm pretty sure she would also be open to supporting her friend, and Sayori will she also be like very sad about it? About this being the last club meeting with Natsuki and everything, but so I guess we should go to bed. It's getting late. Right. Good night. Good night. So overwhelmed, I head to my bedroom and sit on my bed. Yeah, like I can fall asleep now.